Well, I mean, by removing the guns, you're not going to remove the whack jobs. Okay, they're going to be around. They're always going to be with us. Now, let's get to this point of the revolution starting early and why it can't fucking happen. There is a book by an author named Crane Britton, and you won't take any poli-sci course without at least coming across some mention of this book, called An Anatomy of a Revolution. And he basically examines many revolutions through history and compares the similarities to determine which factors need to be in place in order for a revolution to start. And these factors have to be in place. All right, I'm going to list those off right now.
Oh, so again with history, yes. Analyze history where, in the last 100 years, technology has completely, radically, exponentially changed things. But yes, we'll analyze history, and that'll tell us how revolutions happen. And we don't have to go back, hundreds of years. Now, all we have to do is go back over the last decade. We can see it, all right? Go to New York City and look where the buildings were. We can see what a small cabal can accomplish. It's been demonstrated to us, okay? And the next, let's, just figure it out for yourself. What happens to the social infrastructure if, a few million people are killed in the next terrorist act? If there's, a million injured people, the neighboring states will be inundated, the infrastructure will crumble, the economy will fall apart, it could just collapse our entire society. And then we're back to where you want to get us anyway, where you're leading us. And that's anarchy. No rules, just anarchy. Just do what you want. Just take what you want, kill what you want. That's all it'll be. The worst of mankind the cockroaches will survive. And anybody with any intelligence is going to be doomed. Because they're just not going to have, they're going to have too much character to do what it takes to survive. And that's what you're dooming us to. That's what your rhetoric is leading to. This pretense that we can live in 1654 or 1328 is just completely preposterous, completely idiotic. I mean, you should be ashamed of yourself. And so, we'll get to your list. But, I could write a list. Anybody can write a stupid-ass list. And you're going to say this has some sort of empirical, how can this possibly be judged? I mean, why don't you quote the Bible? It's just somebody pulling something out of their ass, and you're going to quote us. You're going to tell us it has to be. It's unshakable, undeniable fact. This list is the undeniable truth. Is that your fucking argument? Oh man, you are so full of shit.
Number 1. People from all social classes are discontented. Number 2. People feel restless and held down by unacceptable restrictions in society, religion, the economy, or the government. Number 3. People are hopeful about the future, but they are being forced to accept less than they had hoped for. Number 4. People are beginning to think of themselves as belonging to a social class, and there is a growing bitterness between social classes. Number 5. The social classes closest to one another are the most hostile. Number 6. The scholars and thinkers give up on the way their society operates. Number 7. The government does not respond to the needs of its society. Number 8. The leaders of the government and the ruling class begin to doubt themselves. Some join with the opposition groups. Number 9. The government is unable to get enough support from any group to save itself. Number 10. The government cannot organize its finances correctly and is either going bankrupt or trying to tax heavily and unjustly.
Well, wasn't that a great pile of silly putty? I particularly like the one, anyway, I mean, the one that talks about how the intellectuals give up on fixing anything. Exactly, bravo. You're playing your part. But yeah, I mean, realistically, come on, I'm laughing, see? Ha, that's real laughs. Realistically, just explain to me how any of this is necessary. We've already seen what a small group of people can do. Okay, this talk is just talk. It's just bullshit. this is what a revolution... No, a revolution requires the key to the nuclear silo. You know, game over, moron.
So there you go. Now, are a few of those factors already in place in the United States of America? Maybe. I mean, that's pretty much up to our speculation, and I don't think you could say, you know, concretely one way or the other how many of them are and how many of them aren't. But the point is, a revolution, an uprising, is going to happen when it happens. It's going to happen when it needs to, and nothing will cause that to happen early, and there's nothing that could prevent it from happening when the time has come. I mean, what you guys seem to be worried about is that, oh, we're going to get these crazy gun-happy people that are going to say, yeah, let's start the revolution now, and we're going to wind up with a bloodbath on our hands when there were still political solutions open, when there were still diplomatic and democratic solutions available, and instead we opted for violence before it was time. No, that's not going to fucking happen because it's impossible. All right, a revolution is like the social equivalent of like a nuclear explosion. You know, it has to. You have to reach that critical mass first, and you can't rush that process. It's going to happen when it fucking happens. And personally, I think we're still a long way off. But yeah, that's the only point I wanted to make.
Okay, another brilliant argument. It's just your speculation regarding when this list is defined, when we have met the list. So we all individually decide when the list has been satisfied, because it's just speculation. We all just individually speculate as to when we have achieved the list credentials and it is time to act. And we all do that as individuals and make our decision. Yeah, brilliant. Okay, and then I guess the rest of the argument, just you just emphatically state it can't happen. Can't happen, just can't. It's not possible to have a coup, a tyrannical revolution, a revolution by, say, a group of religious fanatics with guns and explosives and other devices of their creation to create mayhem. It's just not possible that that's any threat whatsoever to democratic government. Not any threat whatsoever. Can't happen. It's just impossible. Impossible. It's impossible to destroy civilization until civilization needs to be destroyed? Is that what you're saying? Civilization will have to destroy itself first, and then we will recreate civilization by warring with the anti-civilization force that will get us back to civilization in the context of a world of nuclear achievement. And this makes sense to you? I mean, just a speculation. Okay, let's take this another. Let's talk some more. Let's ask some questions. Let's say we're in the future, and we have, you know, automobiles or spaceships or whatever vehicles that you know, incredibly powerful, incredibly fast, and you could just fly one of these vehicles into the planet, and you could create a megaton explosion. Would anybody have a right to drive one of these vehicles? No, I don't think so. Let's say our military right now has nuclear weapons in silos. You know, I mentioned that before. I'm sure they have protections and defense mechanisms around those silos. But how many people do you think it would take to get one of those bombs? I mean, it wouldn't take 1 million, would it? No, it wouldn't take that many. I mean, it's not possible that can happen. It's just not possible. It's not going to happen until the time is right. It's only when the time is right is it going to happen. That's right. Only when the time is right. That's a guarantee. Sounds kind of like a religion. It's a nice dogma, but it's based on absolutely nothing. It's just crap you pulled out of your ass and you throw it out here like it's supposed to mean something. It means nothing. You still haven't explained how we're going to prevent the violent curve from tragically and catastrophically intersecting with the technology curve. So explain it. Explain to me what the future is going to look like, where people can still have the freedom to attack their government and still access to technology. Explain how that's going to work.